The world's scariest exercise. You may wonder what this could be, but it depends on the person, doesn't it?
But for me, it was clear after watching my best friend almost kill himself in a freak accident. But before I show you what happens, let me take you back to where it all began and how this came about. My name's James, and in 2019 I joined Loughborough University. I love sports and I was always up for trying something new. So I decided to trial for one of the hardest sports at the uni, gymnastics. Me and my brother Tom managed to get into the development team. We would always watch the elite members perform and were amazed by their skills. But the one thing we wanted to learn from all they could do was the backflip. This is where my friend Morgan comes in, the guy from the accident earlier. He had the same ambition to learn the backflip just like me.
I'm very nervous. This is a hard time for me.
Every time we trained, we would practice backward rolls and things like jumping backwards onto a box. It was so hard because our natural human instinct was completely against jumping backwards. Our coach hated us doing it all the time, but we forced ourselves to do it. It was one of the reasons we joined the team. Months later, we nailed our first backflip on the soft floor. We now knew that we had it down, we had to take it to the grass. But you're probably wondering how a complete novice like me managed to do it. To be honest, we took way longer than we should have, but now I know the exact steps, I know what I would have done differently. But before I explain the steps, I have to tell you what happened to Morgan and how this turned into the scariest exercise that I'd ever learned. In 2019, we were invited onto a sports tour with the university gymnastics team, in which we went on holiday with other universities. Each night on tour, we would dress up and go out and party hard, but also compete in the day. To be honest, it was predominantly drinking, but with some sport involved. With our newly learned skills and alcohol involved, there was a lot of showing off from the elite members of the team. It was gaining a lot of attention. Of course, me and Morgan were joining in, but what we didn't consider is that some of these people had been flipping before they could even walk, so we probably should have thought it through. We shouldn't have copied them, but we did, and Morgan wasn't so lucky. At around 5 AM, after drinking all night, Morgan attempted a backflip, drunk and on concrete. I didn't even know if he was okay, but he was my best friend, so I had to go and find out. So dressed up like a woman and drunk, I made my way over to the Italian hospital. The doctors said he was lucky to not break his neck. Ever since that day, Morgan never did a backflip again. I spent all this time and energy learning the skill, but my friend's career was almost over. I just didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure whether this was it for my backflip journey. But I couldn't give in. I spent months trying to bring myself to do it again. But something clicked. I realised that it wasn't the flip that was dangerous, it was the alcohol and the environment I was in that was dangerous. So I forced myself to build my confidence and learn it once again. So I started my journey again and went through the exact processes that I did before. I went out every day and practiced on the grass to build my confidence. Just like the elite gymnasts, it's repetition that builds confidence, but never attempt it when drunk, as it's not going to end well.